My beloved child. Stop scrolling for a moment. What you are about to hear did not arrive here by accident. Something has been trying to reach you, quietly, persistently, almost desperately, and somehow, through all the noise surrounding your life, this message found you exactly when it needed to. Do not dismiss that. Do not move away too quickly. Because there is something unfolding around you right now, something subtle, something emotional, something deeply personal. And though you may not yet see it with your physical eyes, heaven has been watching it unfold in complete detail. A close friend wants to know something about you. Not a stranger. Not someone passing through your life. A close friend. Someone who knows your smile. Someone who recognizes your voice before you even finish saying hello. Someone who has watched your patterns. Your silence. Your habits. Your changes. Someone who has noticed something missing. And they want to know exactly how long you've been without it. Without what? That is the part that has not yet been spoken aloud. That is the part hidden behind their careful glances. The part tucked beneath ordinary conversations. The question they almost asked you. The question they rehearsed in their mind. The question they swallowed because they feared what your answer might reveal. And now heaven is allowing you to know this. Because what they are sensing is real. Something has changed in you. Even if you have tried to hide it. Even if you thought no one noticed. Someone noticed. They noticed the moments your smile faded too quickly. They noticed how your laughter sometimes sounds complete, until it suddenly doesn't. They noticed how you linger in thought longer than you used to. How your eyes drift away in the middle of conversation. How your spirit sometimes leaves the room before your body does. And they have been wondering. How long? How long have you been carrying this? How long have you been without what your soul has secretly been begging for? Pause. Because this is where many people misunderstand what heaven is saying. This is not merely about loneliness. This is not only about romance. This is not simply about companionship. This goes deeper. This is about absence. A holy absence. A space inside you that has remained unfilled. A chamber of the heart that has stayed waiting. And perhaps even you have stopped naming it. Perhaps you became so accustomed to surviving without it, that you forgot how much it mattered. But heaven did not forget. And neither did your spirit. That empty place inside you has been speaking. Quietly. Daily. In your late nights. In your sudden emotions. In the songs that hit too deeply. In the moments when memories arrive uninvited. In the ache you cannot explain. In the tears that nearly formed, but didn't. That empty place has been calling. And someone close to you has heard the echo. That is why they are curious. That is why they feel drawn toward your silence. That is why they keep looking at you differently lately. They cannot explain it. They only know something is missing. And they want to know how long. But heaven asks a different question. Not how long have you been without it. But how long have you believed you were meant to remain without it? Because there is a dangerous lie that settles into tired hearts. It whispers this. This is just how life is now. This emptiness is permanent. This longing will never be answered. This ache is normal. No. My beloved child, that is not truth. That is exhaustion pretending to be truth. That is disappointment disguising itself as reality. That is survival trying to convince you that your spirit no longer deserves fullness. But heaven rejects that lie. Listen carefully. The emptiness you feel was never designed to become your home. It was only meant to be temporary. Temporary. Even if it has lasted longer than you expected. Even if it has stretched across months. Even years. Even seasons you cannot count. Temporary. Do you understand? Because what feels endless to you has always had an expiration date in the hands of God. And something is nearing that date. Something is shifting. Something has begun. You may not see it yet. But your spirit feels it. That is why your emotions have been strange lately. That is why old memories have returned. That is why your dreams have become more vivid. That is why your heart keeps pausing at random moments. Something is moving. And your soul knows it before your mind does. But let us return to this close friend. Because their curiosity is not random. They are being used, without even realizing it, as a mirror. They are reflecting back to you something you have not wanted to face. How long have you really been without joy? Not performative joy. Not social media joy. Real joy. The kind that reaches your bones. The kind that makes breathing feel easier. The kind that arrives without effort. How long? How long have you been without feeling chosen? Without feeling deeply understood? Without feeling safe enough to exhale? Without feeling emotionally held? Without feeling seen? Without feeling pursued? Without feeling treasured? How long? Maybe longer than you want to admit. Maybe so long that you stopped counting. And yet heaven has counted every single day. Every one. The nights you cried silently. Counted. The mornings you forced yourself forward. Counted. The disappointments you swallowed. Counted. The moments you almost gave up. Counted. Not one was missed. And now, because heaven has counted them, heaven speaks. Enough. Did you hear that? Enough. Enough surviving on crumbs. Enough pretending you do not feel what you feel. Enough acting strong while privately unraveling. Enough accepting emotional starvation as normal. Enough. Something is ending. And that is why this message found you. Because endings create fear when they are not understood. When emptiness leaves, it creates movement. When long silence breaks, it sounds loud. When a locked door opens after years, the light can feel blinding. And that is what is happening. A door is moving. Slowly. But unmistakably. You may have felt resistance recently. Unexpected delays. Emotional confusion. Sudden tiredness. Strange memories resurfacing. That is not random. That is the pressure of a sealed place beginning to open. The old is losing its grip. Your spirit knows it. And somewhere nearby, a close friend senses it too. They do not know what they are sensing. But they feel the change. They feel the trembling before revelation. They feel your energy shifting. They feel your distance changing. They feel that something is about to happen. And they are right. But what exactly is it? That answer has not yet been fully released. Because part of your preparation is learning to sit in holy suspense. Most people hate suspense. They demand immediate answers. Instant clarity. Full explanation. But heaven often whispers before it announces. It hints before it reveals. It stirs before it opens. And right now, you are in the stirring. The stirring feels uncomfortable. It feels uncertain. It feels like standing on a shoreline while hearing something large approaching through the fog. You cannot see it. But you know it is coming. That is where you are. And because of that, let me tell you something deeply important. Do not run back toward what once starved you. Do not. When emptiness becomes familiar, people become strangely loyal to it. They decorate it. Protect it. Defend it. They say, at least I know this pain. But heaven says no. Do not return to what diminished you. Do not reopen doors that heaven closed. Do not chase what abandoned you. Do not beg for what could not value you. Do not romanticize what hurt you. The next chapter cannot enter a house still occupied by yesterday. Something must leave. Something already is. And that may explain why certain people feel distant lately. Why certain conversations feel flat. Why certain places no longer feel like home. Why old habits suddenly feel unbearable. Your spirit is evacuating. Your spirit knows something new is coming. And it refuses to settle. This close friend has noticed that too. They may not say it. But they have wondered. Why does your energy feel different? Why does your silence feel louder? Why does your face carry both sadness and expectation? Because deep inside, you are waiting. Even if you do not know for what. And heaven smiles at that. Because your soul often recognizes blessings before your mind can name them. Something beautiful is approaching. Do not mistake beautiful for easy. That would be wrong. Sometimes beautiful things arrive by disrupting everything first. Sometimes healing feels like chaos before it feels like peace. Sometimes restoration begins as demolition. And perhaps that is why life has felt unstable. Because heaven has been removing structures you were never meant to live inside. Old beliefs. Old wounds. Old loyalties. Old fears. Old identities. Removing. 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 And you mistook the removal for loss. But it was preparation. Can you feel that? What if your recent pain was not punishment? What if it was rearrangement? What if your delay was not denial? What if it was divine timing? What if the silence was not abandonment? What if heaven was building something too sacred to announce early? Sit with that. Because your close friend cannot see this. They only see the surface. They see your outer changes. But heaven sees the architecture beneath. Heaven sees what is being rebuilt. Stronger. Cleaner. holier, ready. And there is another truth. This friend may want to know how long you've been without, because they themselves feel connected to that absence. Yes. That may surprise you. What if their question is not only curiosity? What if it is confession? What if they are not merely observing your emptiness, but feeling drawn toward it? Not to exploit it, to understand it, to step closer to it, to possibly become part of its ending. Have you considered that? That the one quietly watching your absence may be someone heaven is using in ways you have not imagined? Do not jump ahead. Do not assign names. Do not force meanings. Simply listen. Because sometimes the person asking how long you've been without love is asking because they are wondering whether there is room in your heart. Sometimes the person noticing your loneliness has secretly been carrying affection. Sometimes the person studying your silence has words they have not yet found courage to speak. And that changes everything, doesn't it? Suddenly the friend looks different. Suddenly the glances mean more. Suddenly the pauses feel heavier. Suddenly ordinary moments feel charged. And perhaps you have sensed that already. A strange tension. A new softness. A subtle pull. Something unspoken. Something almost ready. But not yet. Not yet. That phrase matters. Not yet. Because timing protects what truth alone cannot. Some revelations arrive too early and are ruined. Some blessings need incubation. Some confessions need courage. Some hearts need preparation. And yours has been preparing. Whether you knew it or not. That is why this season has felt so emotionally demanding. You have been stretching, growing, softening, healing, learning how to receive what once would have frightened you. Because what is coming requires a version of you that can actually hold it. Not sabotage it. Not doubt it. Not reject it. Hold it. That is what heaven has been training. And now, your close friend feels the shift. They feel your readiness. They feel your opening. They may not understand it, but they feel it. Which is why they are watching. Which is why they are wondering. Which is why they want to know. How long? But heaven already knows the answer. Too long. You have gone too long without what nourishes your soul. Too long without tenderness. Too long without emotional safety. Too long without rest. Too long without feeling fully met. And because it has been too long, the next move from heaven will not be small. Did you hear that? It will not be small. When God waits, He often compensates. When heaven delays, heaven often multiplies. When a long drought ends, it does not end with a teaspoon. It ends with rain. And rain is coming. But rain always arrives with clouds first. So do not fear the clouds. Do not fear temporary confusion. Do not fear emotional turbulence. It may simply be the atmosphere changing. You prayed for change. Now do not panic when the air shifts. Trust it. Trust the discomfort. Trust the tension. Trust the holy rearrangement. And above all, trust what your spirit has been trying to tell you. Because lately your intuition has been louder. Hasn't it? You have felt things before they happened. You have sensed people more accurately. You have known truths without evidence. That is not imagination. That is spiritual sensitivity. Your spirit has been awakened. Why? Because what comes next requires discernment. Not everyone who approaches you belongs near you. Not every smile is sacred. Not every opportunity is aligned. Not every connection is destiny. Discernment. That is your shield. And your close friend? Discern them too. Watch carefully. Not suspiciously. Prayerfully. Notice what changes. Notice how they speak to you. Notice how often they reach out. Notice what their eyes say when their words do not. Because something is brewing there. Something tender. Something nervous. Something unresolved. And perhaps something they themselves are only beginning to understand. This is where the story bends. Because until now, you believed this message was about your lack. Your absence. Your waiting. But heaven now reveals. Someone else has been waiting too. Someone else has been counting time. Someone else has been asking how long. Not because they pity you. Because they care. More than you know. More than they have admitted. And they are standing at the edge of a decision. A terrifying one. A vulnerable one. Whether to speak. Whether to reveal. Whether to risk changing everything. Do you understand how fragile this moment is? One word could alter the entire relationship. One confession could rewrite years. One truth could open a door neither of you can close. And they know that. Which is why they hesitate. Which is why heaven has not yet allowed it. But the pressure is building. Soon silence will become harder than honesty. Soon what has been hidden will feel too heavy to hold. Soon. Not someday. Soon. That word is for you. Soon. But before that happens, there is something you must release. Fear. The fear that what you need will never come. Release it. The fear that you have waited too long. Release it. The fear that you missed your moment. Release it. The fear that your best emotional days are behind you. Release it. They are not behind you. They are approaching. You have not missed them. You are walking toward them. And that is why this message feels urgent. Because heaven wants you ready. Ready emotionally. Ready spiritually. Ready relationally. Ready to receive. Many people pray for blessings but reject them when they arrive in unfamiliar packaging. Do not do that. Your answer may not look how you imagined. It may arrive through a friend. Through a conversation. Through a confession. Through a moment so ordinary it almost passes unnoticed. Pay attention. The sacred often enters quietly. And this one may begin with a simple question. How long? That question is not casual. It is a key. A doorway. A test. How you answer may matter more than you realize. Will you answer honestly? Or will you hide again? Will you say, "I'm fine"? Or will you finally tell the truth? How long have you really been without what your soul needs? How long have you really been lonely? How long have you really been pretending? How long have you really been aching? How long? Your answer may open something. Something immediate. Something life-changing. Something already trembling beneath the surface. And now, I must tell you what heaven has only whispered until this moment. This close friend has been carrying something. A secret. A truth. A burden. A feeling. And it concerns you. Yes. You. They have not told anyone. Not fully. Not honestly. But it has grown too large inside them. They think about it at strange times. When your name appears on their phone. When they hear a song. When they remember your laugh. When they imagine your future. They think about it. And every time they do, they ask themselves the same question. How long has this been true? How long have they felt this? How long have they hidden it? How long can they continue pretending they do not? And the answer is, not much longer. Something is about to break. Not destructively. Revelation ally. Something is about to be said. Something is about to surface. Something is about to change the way you see this person forever. But before it happens, before the truth is spoken, before the hidden feeling becomes visible, before the next chapter opens, heaven asks you only this. Are you ready to hear what they have never dared to say? Because once you hear it, nothing returns to what it was. And the moment it begins, you will understand why this message found you today. You will understand why your spirit felt restless. You will understand why your heart has been beating differently. You will understand why your close friend wanted to know exactly how long you've been without. Because what they were really trying to ask was this. How much longer will you remain unaware that I have been carrying this for you? And that, my beloved child, is where the silence ends.